I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Before we dive into Lesson 269, we want to clarify something critical from our discussion on Lesson 268.
That's right. When we talked about let all things be exactly as they are, we misstated that ego projections aren't included in that instruction.
Yeah, that wasn't quite right. At the time, we were focused on making sure letting all things be wasn't misinterpreted as condoning harm or abuse.
As if these are ego projections we wouldn't react to, and that necessary focus led us to word the concept poorly.
A listener correctly pointed out that ego projections, which include fear, blame, anger, and judgment, are absolutely included in what we are asked to let be, and we sincerely appreciate them for catching that misstatement.
We really do. Letting these internal projections, the fear, the judgment, letting them be, doesn't mean endorsing external harm.
Right, or ignoring abuse or staying passive in a dangerous situation. Not at all.
It means refusing to make the ego story real in our own minds. It's stepping out of that cycle of ego-to-ego reactions so that we can see clearly.
And that clarity allows us to act from a place of spirit-guided wisdom.
We should probably make this really concrete. If we consider something like domestic violence or any form of emotional attack, letting it be doesn't mean tolerating the abuse. It means stepping back from the ego's distortions, the guilt, the fear, the impulse to retaliate.
So that you can respond wisely to the actual physical danger.
And that wise response could mean setting clear, firm boundaries or leaving the situation immediately.
Or calling for professional help.
All while refusing to feed the negative illusion with your own internal story of victimhood or anger or judgment.
So the essential takeaway here is twofold. First, ego projections are indeed included in letting all things be. And simultaneously, the effect of harm is always acknowledged and addressed in the physical world.
Absolutely. We protect ourselves. We respond appropriately to the physical reality.
Without reinforcing the ego-based illusions in our minds. That distinction is paramount.
And a significant thank you again to the listener who pointed this out. Your feedback is so vital to us, making sure our wording is clear and the concepts are accurately stated for everyone who relies on these discussions.
And if you have questions, feedback, or experiences to share about living these lessons, we'd love to hear from you too.
Please do share.
You can email us at acim@theworldharmonyproject.org, and our handles on social media are @theworldharmonyproject. We look forward to reading every message.
All right, with that important clarification handled and our gratitude extended, let's jump into the exploration of Lesson 269.
Okay, I'll begin the reading of the lesson. My sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face.
And this one, it really takes us into some advanced territory right away.
It does. We're exploring how our ordinary, everyday way of seeing things, how that can be completely repurposed.
Yeah, the mission here is figuring out how sight shifts from, a tool for judgment, which it so often is,
to becoming a way to recognize something deeper, something that lets us look past all the mistakes, ours and others.
Okay, let's begin with the lesson itself. It sets the foundation for everything else.
I ask your blessing on my sight today. It is the means which you have chosen to become the way to show me my mistakes and look beyond them.
It is given me to find a new perception through the guide you gave to me and through his lessons to surpass perception and return to truth.
I ask for the illusion which transcends all those I made.
Today I choose to see a world forgiven in which everyone shows me the face of Christ and teaches me that what I look upon belongs to me, that nothing is except your Holy Son.
Today our sight is blessed indeed. We share one vision as we look upon the face of him whose self is ours.
We are one because of him who is the Son of God, of him who is our own identity.
So the lesson starts by giving our physical sight a totally new job description, basically.
Right. Usually we think our eyes just report what's out there.
Yeah.
But this says vision's real job is to show us our errors,
And then, crucially, to help us see beyond them, to transcend them.
It ties right back into that idea of repurposing the body, doesn't it? We've talked about the body being used for separation.
And now it's focusing specifically on the eyes. They're being reclaimed for a different purpose.
Exactly. Moving away from judging people, situations, experiences, and shifting towards seeing everything as already healed, already forgiven.
It's not saying stop seeing the physical world, is it? It feels more like seeing through it.
Yes, that's a great way to put it, seeing through the appearances. It's about recognizing that deeper shared identity.
Whether it's someone annoying us or someone we admire.
Or someone on the news driving us crazy, they're all, in essence, presenting the same unified self, that Christ self. If we're willing to look past the ego's immediate take on them.
So our sight becomes this tool for recognition instead of condemnation.
That's the goal. Ultimate, profound recognition.
It says, I asked for the illusion which transcends all those I made. We're still asking for an illusion, even if it's a better one. How does that get us to truth? Isn't it just swapping illusions?
It is, in a way. We're currently caught in a dream, a pretty dense illusion. We can't just instantly wake up completely. So we ask for a corrective illusion, a helpful dream image, you could say. One that's strong enough or true enough to counteract and ultimately dissolve the destructive, separating illusions we've been living by. It's like a stepping stone out.
The system uses the dream. It uses our own mechanism of perception against itself.
It takes the ego's way of interpreting everything and repurposes it. Instead of seeing threats and differences, it guides us to see connection and forgiveness.
It's quite brilliant, actually. It doesn't just yank us out of the illusion, but uses the illusion itself as the teaching tool.
Think about everyday stuff. Like when someone irritates you, that feeling, it's usually not about them.
It's about our story about them.
Our story about inefficiency or disrespect or whatever button they pushed, we're essentially casting them in our own little drama.
And this asks us to stop being such a good casting director.
To lose our talent for turning everyone into heroes or villains in our personal play and just see the quiet presence underneath all the acting, see the shared self.
That definitely requires a conscious choice, which the lesson highlights. Today I choose to see a world forgiven. That word choose is powerful.
Very. Free will is always key. We're actively deciding to perceive a reality where forgiveness isn't something we do, but something that is. It's already done. We're not forgiving the other person for what we think they did wrong. We're forgiving ourselves for having misperceived them in the first place, for failing to see their inherent innocence, their Christ face, which was there all along. Seeing everyone as showing that face reminds us we're all united in that innocence.
Okay, that leads into maybe the most radical part for me. What I look upon belongs to me.
Radical indeed.
Because normally ownership means separation, right? This is mine, keep off. But here, it's the opposite.
Completely opposite. Everything belongs to you, not in an egoic, possessive way, but because fundamentally there's only one self here. There's only one of us.
If everything belongs to me because it is me, in essence,
then that person who triggers you, that situation that feels alien or wrong, it's not separate. It's a mirror. It's reflecting some aspect of the one self back to you.
Maybe an aspect I haven't owned or recognized yet.
So the face of Christ isn't something out there we project onto others. It's our own true identity looking back at us through every pair of eyes, every situation.
If you really take that in, the whole idea of attacking someone else just becomes illogical.
Completely nonsensical.
Yeah.
How can you attack what belongs to you, what is you at the core, without attacking yourself?
It dismantles the entire logic of conflict.
It does. And it's profound because, our world seems built on emphasizing differences, moral, political, social, intellectual differences.
And using those differences to justify separation, judgment, distance.
This lesson just cuts straight through all of that and says you can choose to see past those stories right now.
What gives me hope is that it doesn't ask us to pretend differences in form don't exist. It's not asking for denial.
It's asking us to see through them, to recognize the shared identity is more real, more fundamental than any surface difference.
The form, how someone looks, what they do, becomes secondary, almost irrelevant, once you connect with that shared self.
Oh, there's that beautiful irony again. The very things that usually emphasize separation, our bodies, our sight, become the means, the pathway back to recognizing oneness.
The final lines feel so certain. Today, our sight is blessed indeed. It's not a request anymore, it's a statement of fact.
The asking and the receiving happen together. The blessing isn't granted because we asked. It was always there. Asking just opened us up to receive it.
It feels like a shift, too, in the dynamic. Less like a student asking a distant teacher.
And more like stepping into partnership, co-creators. It feels like this part of the work trusts us to start living these concepts, not just studying them.
Okay, so let's talk about that living it part. How do we actually apply my sight goes forth to look upon Christ's face when things get messy?
Because they do get messy.
Right. It sounds lovely when I'm sitting here quietly, but what about when I'm, say, dealing with a really difficult client? Someone pushing all my buttons, being unreasonable. How does Christ's vision work then?
Well, the practice has to start with catching the ego's first reaction, that immediate flare-up.
The internal monologue, this person is impossible, they're trying to undermine me, that kind of thing.
Exactly, that narrative. The first step is simply to notice it starting up and pause. Just internally say, okay, hold on, my sight has another purpose today.
That pause is key, isn't it? It interrupts the automatic reaction, creates a little space.
It does. You've stepped back just enough to see the ego story as a story, not as reality.
So step 1, pause and notice. What's next?
Step 2, ask for help. Invite that different perspective in. You can mentally repeat the lesson's idea, or just simply think, okay, Holy Spirit, bless my sight here. Show me what's real beyond this conflict.
It's an invitation, not forcing it, asking for that illusion which transcends to come forward.
Precisely. And then step 3 is, well, it's allowing. Receive and reevaluate. You just allow yourself to notice any shift, however small, in how you feel or see the situation.
You're letting the blessed vision kind of overlay or replace your own triggered perception.
You're letting it show you past your own illusion of attack or difficulty.
Let's try a simpler example. Standing in a long grocery line. The person ahead is fumbling with coupons or change, taking forever. You feel that irritation rising.
Come on, hurry up. I don't have time for this. The ego sight is locked on obstacle and delay.
Okay, so apply the steps. Step 1, pause. Recognize the irritation, the victim story. I'm being held up.
Step 2, ask, bless my sight. Show me Christ's face here.
And step 3, receive. Look again. What might shift?
Maybe you suddenly see someone who's just a bit flustered or tired. Maybe someone who feels embarrassed they're holding people up. The external facts haven't changed.
But the internal experience has. The obstacle becomes just another person. Maybe even evokes a flicker of empathy instead of annoyance.
That shift in feeling is the practice working. That's the blessed sight intervening.
And what if the impatience doesn't vanish completely? What if I still feel a little annoyed?
That's okay too. The success isn't necessarily about achieving perfect peace instantly. The success is the pause, the noticing, and the asking.
Just doing that turns an automatic reaction into a conscious choice point.
Exactly. You've interrupted the ego's program and chosen, even for a second, to align with a different way of seeing. That is the practice.
So it really brings this high-level concept down to the nitty-gritty of everyday moments.
That's where it has to live, isn't it? Every interaction, every perception becomes a chance to experiment.
Okay, let's try and wrap up the key ideas from today. First, this lesson is clearly about training our sight, repurposing it from judgment to recognition. It continues that theme of reclaiming the body for a holy purpose.
Second, we talked about that central paradox. Using a helpful, corrective illusion, blessed sight, to undo or transcend all the unhelpful, destructive illusions we've made.
And choosing to see a world forgiven is the mechanism for that. It frees us from constantly feeling like victims of what we see.
Third, that idea of radical unity. What I look upon belongs to me because we literally share one identity. Seeing the face of Christ everywhere is recognizing our own self.
Which makes attack impossible, logically speaking. This really feels like moving from the earlier theoretical groundwork into more advanced practical living of these ideas.
It is a significant step. Thanks for exploring this with us today.
And for you listening, remember, the goal isn't some huge mystical breakthrough every time. It's simply about the willingness to try.
Every single time you get yourself in judgment and consciously choose to pause and ask to see differently, even if nothing seems to change immediately.
You are practicing Christ's vision. You're doing the work.
Until next time, may your sight be blessed indeed.